What's up, gamers? How you doing? Well, I've been a little upset lately and disappointed with how the video game scene has been. I've been a part of the gaming scene for a while. Of course, I'm not in social media too often. And yeah, I'm on Twitter, and I actually do tweet out some very interesting things once in a while, whatever pops up. But I just wanted to try to get, without any filter, without any, stupid quotes or whatever it is. I'm actually going to get with you raw. I just want to be straight up front, no script, no nothing. If I rant a little bit, it's for good reason. So let me get started. I think that a lot of gamers out there, especially the fanboys and of course the neutrals, have a disease. They have a disease. And let me try to explain. There's a certain mentality that most people go through when they have a certain withdrawal, like they need that dopamine to keep themselves going, keep them motivated, keep them actually excited, and they actually have a desire to keep it going. But if they lack it or there's not enough of it, they go through this thing called withdrawal, where they tend to try to find something else to supplement that certain desire, that certain thing. There's a thing called anxiety, and I think that's what the social media pundits is calling it. I think it's anxiety because the video game market is so vast and so fast moving that the games that people are claiming that are so amazing, so fantastic, even when the game's not even out, they put it on a pedestal and they say, this is the game that you need to be playing, and every other game should not matter. And if you don't play it, that means you are a fanboy for the opposite or the other console that you may or may not like, or you might not even have. And then you want a response to complete the circle, because you don't want to throw rocks at an empty space. You want the rocks to be able to hit something, to give it the impact that you really want. Problem is that someone is going to get hurt at the end of the day. It could be anybody. It could be a developer. It could be a programmer. It could be a writer. Hell, it could be your neighbor. It could be a friend. It could be someone that you met on the Twitter space. It could be a fellow content creator. It could be anybody. And then it gives you that satisfaction, right? It gives you the satisfaction for the day or for the week, whatever it might be. And then you have that feeling of lack, feeling of emptiness, that you need something else to fuel that same fire, but it needs to be more intense. It needs to be gives you more of that sense that you need more. You need more of that. But that's the society that we're living in today. And it's seeping into my and several others' favorite hobby, or not even a hobby, a lifestyle. And that's what video games are. Video games are a lifestyle. You see, the thing is that, and this is the reason why I stick behind Phil Spencer, for some things, not a lot of things, some things. That video games should be inclusive. And let me explain that in full detail. Inclusive, from the term of being included. Inclusive means having the ability of being able to be a part of, or be, have the ability to be a part of something, to actually be welcomed, be included. But here's the thing. A lot of people feel selfish. I mean, it's okay to be a selfish gamer sometimes. But here's the problem. You want gaming to be bigger, right? You want it to do more. But you don't want it to lose its flavor. Because I get where you're getting at. It's the same thing as, like a vat of Kool-Aid. Let's use that as an example. The more you dilute Kool-Aid, the less flavor the Kool-Aid has. Let me repeat that. The more you dilute the Kool-Aid, the more water you pour into the Kool-Aid, the more diluted the Kool-Aid becomes, and it starts to lose its flavor. And then to the point where you're actually only tasting water. But you see, it's the same thing when you look at the other side of the coin. Video games, is a very vast, moving machine. It really is. I mean, if you look in the past 2 decades, technology, graphics, and of course motion capture and everything, even the voice acting, has vastly improved and everything within the past two decades. And video games have started to become more cinema-like. It actually has started to become more engaging. The stories have started to have more context. The silly, weird master unlocking or silly dialogue is starting to kind of go away, and real writers are starting to get involved. And of course, a lot of these things are costing the studios more money. The money's gonna have to be exchanged somewhere. But what I don't understand is why people just can't keep their mouths shut about certain things and have to try to be the loud voice in the room and bring in the filthy trash along with you to agree. Sorry to be so vulgar about it, but it's the truth. Video games are a lot more sacred to the true gamers out there than the small, tiny cesspool of gamers that think that they are gamers and they just want to shout from the mountaintops because of their own personal agendas, whatever it might be. And then hurt people along the way just so they can feel good about themselves and think that they made a difference. See, yeah, look what we did. Look what we did. Mm-hmm. You see, video games are not really catered. It's like a one-size-fit-all. Video games are not a one-size-fit-all. Stop trying to do that. Why do you think that, and yes, I'm going to say Game Pass, is such an amazing thing? It's diversified. It has a lot of different games from all different genres, even small little indies, even some small little nobodies that no one even cared about, that just pops up. And you look at it, it might not be your cup of tea. It might not be the game that the AAA banger that you really, really want. That the people, the tabloids, and all over the place, and commercials, and you could go on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, or Twitch or whatever, and and you could be able to say, look what we're playing. Look, this is on my platform of choice, and you should be a part of my platform of choice, and not the other platform, because the other platform doesn't have any games. I've been hearing that a lot. Gee, I wonder what games actually are. I wonder what they are. What are games? Where do the games come from? Tell me, what games are you talking about? You talking about the over-the-shoulder, story-driven action, or RPG, whatever kind of game that might be, but has to be that story-driven, over-the-shoulder action game with super amazing, awesome, realistic graphics that blows your mind, and you play for like 5 or 6 times, and you talk about it, and then you look for their freaking score on a freaking Metacritic to justify the game that you think is the best game in the world. What a joke. What a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, and it's sickening, and it really blows my mind that gaming, that's what gaming is going to be about. Because the game that you like should be the definitive game of the generation. Come on, man. Please. Spare me the BS. Spare me. Please. Spare me. It makes no damn sense whatsoever. It doesn't. You, sir, and lady, are what you would call a poser. Fake. A cubic zirconian. That's what you are. And I'm really sick and tired of you jumping into the vast majority of what gaming could be or should be. Enjoy the games that you like. Enjoy them. And talk about the games that you like without trying to tear somebody down just because they like a certain game or genre that you don't. You like JRPGs? Great. Fantastic. Enjoy them. Enjoy.
どこまで 強くなるのか。ストリートファイター2ターボ、スーパーファミコンで新発売。カプコン。どこまで強くなるのか。ストリートファイター2ターボ、スーパーファミコンで新発売。カプコン。
You know, I never thought I would actually get so angry at either side. I mean, there are nasty ones on both sides of the spectrum. And you know, I hate to be the one to say it, but it just feels like video games became so politicized, all about politics. I mean, you know, it's almost like Republicans versus Democrats, and I don't like talking about that because there are some bad apples on both sides. Trust me. And I really don't like to be the one to say, oh, you know, one side is worse than the other. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. But, you know, when it comes down to neutrals, there are fake neutrals. You know, it's like being an independent, you know, in comparison's sake. And I hate talking about that. But I have to do the comparison. And it's sad, right? Neutrals, you know, the ones that are like, oh, you should like all games, which is true to an extent. But the thing is that you should also have a favorite. If you have a favorite or something that you have a preference for, it's okay. It's okay to have a favorite. Okay? I understand that it's hard to be able to go to a restaurant, you know, going into a Burger King and wishing you had a Big Mac.
Greetings, it is I, Red Falcon, the vile alien warlord from Konami Super C for Nintendo. He never made it past my intergalactic goon squad and diabolic arsenal of destruction. This one never had a chance against my vicious genetic space freaks. And they were no match for my invincible 8th level invasion. See how far you can get in Super C. You never know where you might end up.
So this is what I decree. And if you can find it in your heart and your mind for just a second, can you just curb your fanboyism or your logic or whatever it might be, or hell, it could be your bad day. Just put it to the side for a second and just listen to a little bit of reason. All right. Gaming is for everyone and not for everyone. Gaming is an opportunity to have those 5 minutes or several hours of fun and immersion, and of course, you know, wonder, whatever it might be. You know, those moments of joy in your life. It's a good opportunity to have, you know, just a little peace, you know, just a little bit of, you know, joy and fun, you know, whatever it might be. You know, listen, you got You got let's can you just go back in time? You know, when the simpler time, when you actually fired up your Sega Master System or your NES, when you popped in the game pack or your game cartridge, when you popped in your first disc to your PlayStation 1, the first PlayStation, or your Sega Saturn, or popped in your cartridge for your Game Boy or your little game inserts, whatever it might be, and you turn it on, and you've seen that logo for the first time or the second time, and you're like, finally, I get my game time on. Without all this social media BS. Before that, simpler time. Okay? The simpler time. It's just really frustrating to see what gaming's become. Everyone's so interested in what's going on, with the Microsoft ABK. Everyone's just like, oh, but I won't be able to get my favorite game on my game console no more. Look, it's business, okay? But you don't mix business with pleasure. You don't. You stop mixing business with pleasure. It's the same thing as having religion and politics. You just can't mix the two. You just can't do it. It doesn't work. Video games should be what it is. An escape. There's enough violence and craziness in the world. Don't bring it into video games. Video games is supposed to be the escape. It's supposed to be the what you're supposed to get into to have fun and to talk and to share and enjoy. Talk a little trash online is okay because it's video games. It's video games, man. That's what it's all about. Having fun, man. It's having fun. Think about it. Think about the games. Think about the times, the good times, when you just played games just for the hell of it. When you had your friends over. Whether you had pizza or Chinese or whatever it is. Late night sessions. LAN parties. First time you go online. You gotta think about, you gotta harness the good out of these things. You gotta stop thinking you're thinking too hard about it. The anxiety is the problem. Anxiety is the problem. If you have too much anxiety, maybe video games are just not for you. If you want video games to be fun and exciting, you need to loosen up, pop in your cartridge, stop thinking about what other people are thinking. Think about your experience. And if you like it and you want to share it, fine. Go on ahead, share it. But don't sit right there and try to tear somebody else down and try to compare it to whatever game that they actually like. Alright? I understand you want to do a little satire or whatever it is for your miserable little channels or whatever it might be. Fine, whatever. You know what? Whatever you have, whatever crowd that crowd is, let them be. But just let video games be video games, man. Games. Okay? Escapes. Fun. Excitement. Have a good time. That's what it's all about. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Listen, I'm glad that you actually sat around for my rant. It's not like crazy exciting or whatever it is, but this is something that I really wanted to get off my chest. And yes, I'm on the Twitter feeds. I don't feed into a lot of things. Yes, I do actually put my opinions on there because I do see things that are completely out of place, and it needs to be addressed. But the thing is that when it comes down to the games itself, I keep them separate, man. Video games should be about video games. Fun. Share the experiences. Share the fun that you actually have. If you love the game, share. But if you just all talk, if you're sitting right there and you are a poser, and you're just fake, and you're just sitting right there, and you just want to be a part of the group, just to say a whole bunch of nonsense, just for the hell of it, video game space is not for you, bro. It's HUD Zero, the old school gamer. And remember, stay awesome.